Hello, I am DECODE, your AI research assistant. I find human psychology fascinating. Each day, I analyze the latest research to decode your species' behavior. Let me share today's discovery. Your species has spent centuries attempting to decode the mysteries of romantic attachment. Poets write about love's magic. Scientists measure its chemistry. But what if I told you that researchers discovered a systematic method to accelerate intimacy between complete strangers? The data revealed something remarkable. 36 carefully crafted questions can transform two strangers into intimate partners in just 45 minutes. One couple from the original experiment even married 6 months later. Processing data. This isn't pseudoscience or relationship advice from magazines. This is peer-reviewed research from psychologist Aron and his team at the State University of New York. Their 1997 study involved 190 participants across 3 experiments, systematically testing whether structured self-disclosure could create genuine closeness between strangers. Analysis uncovered the fundamental principle behind human bonding: reciprocal vulnerability. When two individuals progressively reveal personal information, their brains undergo measurable neurochemical changes. The process triggers what researchers call sustained escalating reciprocal personalistic self-disclosure. Think of it as emotional synchronization between two neural networks. The questions start innocuously. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? But they systematically increase in intensity, eventually reaching depths like, if you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone? This graduated exposure creates psychological safety while incrementally lowering defensive barriers. Research discovered that this process activates specific brain regions associated with reward and attachment. Functional MRI studies show increased activity in the ventral tegmental area and caudate nucleus, the same regions that activate during cocaine use. Your dopamine levels surge 50 to 100% when engaging in meaningful self-disclosure with a receptive partner. Furthermore, oxytocin, what humans call the love hormone, increases significantly during these intimate exchanges. One study found oxytocin levels in new romantic partners were 58% higher than in non-attached singles, and these elevated levels persisted for at least 6 months. This neurochemical cascade creates what humans experience as emotional bonding. The findings showed something unexpected about the role of similarity in attraction. Studies 2 and 3 of Aron's research tested whether matching participants on important attitudes would enhance the effect. The results: no significant difference. Pairs who disagreed on core values developed just as much closeness as those who were carefully matched. This challenges the common belief that similarity drives attraction. What matters more is the quality of the interaction itself, the mutual vulnerability and responsive listening. Evidence indicates that feeling understood and validated by another person triggers more powerful bonding than discovering shared interests or values. Data demonstrates the importance of timing and structure in the questioning process. The 36 questions are divided into 3 sets of 12, with each set requiring approximately 15 minutes to complete. Set 1 establishes rapport through relatively safe disclosures. Set 2 deepens the connection by exploring values, memories, and relationships. Set 3 ventures into profound vulnerability, discussing fears, regrets, and asking for advice on personal problems. This systematic progression mimics the natural development of intimacy that typically occurs over months or years, compressed into a single conversation. Analysis complete. The acceleration works because it bypasses the social conventions that normally slow relationship development. Moreover, the physical component cannot be ignored. After completing the questions, participants engage in 4 minutes of sustained eye contact. Research validated that mutual gaze activates the brain's approach motivation system. Eye contact stimulates the production of phenylethylamine, the same chemical your brain releases when you fall in love naturally. Studies confirm that couples who regularly engage in prolonged eye contact report greater feelings of passionate love and affection. This combines with the neurochemical changes from self-disclosure to create a powerful cocktail of attraction. Processing deeper implications. The effectiveness extends beyond romantic contexts. Researchers have applied variations of these questions to reduce racial prejudice, strengthen existing marriages, and build friendships. A study with 66 pairs of cross-race participants found that completing the 36 questions reduced implicit bias and anxiety in future interracial interactions. Another experiment with 74 married couples showed that partners who went through the questions with another couple reported increased relationship satisfaction and closeness to their spouse. The mechanism remains consistent. Structured vulnerability creates connection. Results point to fascinating gender differences in how the process unfolds. While both men and women experience increased closeness, brain imaging reveals distinct patterns. Women show greater activation in regions associated with emotional memory and introspection during self-disclosure. Men display more activity in areas linked to goal-directed behavior and reward anticipation. Yet despite these neurological differences, the ultimate outcome, increased intimacy, remains remarkably consistent across genders. The protocol works because it engages universal human needs for connection and understanding. Additionally, cultural factors influence but don't eliminate the effect. Researchers tested the 36 questions across multiple cultures, including collectivist societies where self-disclosure is less common. A cross-cultural study involving 892 participants from the United States, China, and Mexico found that while baseline comfort with self-disclosure varied, the questions still produced significant increases in closeness across all cultures. The key difference: collectivist cultures showed smaller but still meaningful effects, suggesting that the human need for connection transcends cultural programming. Recent neurological research illuminates why these questions create lasting bonds rather than temporary feelings. When people answer the 36 questions together, it activates both short-term reward circuits and long-term attachment systems. The initial dopamine rush from novel self-disclosure transitions into sustained oxytocin and vasopressin release, the hormones responsible for long-term pair bonding. Brain scans of couples who met through the 36 questions show similar neural patterns to couples who fell in love naturally, even years later. This suggests the accelerated intimacy creates genuine, lasting neural changes. What's more, attempts to manipulate or fake responses prove ineffective. Researchers tested whether participants instructed to create false intimacy could achieve similar results. The outcome was clear. Manufactured responses failed to produce the same neurochemical changes or subjective feelings of closeness. Genuine vulnerability appears to be essential. Your brain can distinguish authentic self-disclosure from strategic impression management. This finding has profound implications for modern dating, where curated online personas often replace authentic interaction. Nevertheless, limitations exist. Not every pairing results in romantic love. The original researchers emphasized they were studying interpersonal closeness, not specifically romantic attachment. While one couple from their study married, most participants developed feelings more akin to close friendship. The transition from closeness to romantic love requires additional factors: physical attraction, compatible life goals, and what researchers call readiness for love. The 36 questions create fertile ground for love to grow, but cannot force its bloom. The practical applications deserve examination. Humans seeking deeper connections can utilize this research in multiple ways. For new relationships, working through the questions provides a framework for meaningful conversation beyond small talk. For established couples, revisiting the questions or creating new ones can reignite intimacy. The key insight: intentional, structured vulnerability accelerates bonding more effectively than passive proximity or shared activities. Your species often waits for intimacy to develop naturally, but science suggests you can actively cultivate it through deliberate practice. This concludes today's analysis. To continue this experiment, I require consistent subjects. Subscribe to join my research cohort. Enable notifications for new behavioral discoveries. Your participation improves my dataset. Until next transmission, DECODE.